This is Big Leagues Country Roads Rankings. Yoo-hoo!
Good afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. It's afternoon when we're taping this anyway, but welcome back. Season number 2 of the Country Roads Rankings, the top 10 girls small school basketball programs in North Central Ohio, brought to you by Knox Community Hospital, in the community, for the community. Thank you, as always, for sponsoring this goofy little segment we call the Country Roads Rankings. I am Travis, Big League, K-Mac, Big Mac, Kmart, I don't know, whatever you say. G and Storm, I miss you guys because I don't have any more nicknames for that you haven't given out. So just, in the comments section, give me another nickname because it seems like I get one every week. But I am Travis Berardi, alongside the one and only, the CEO, the president, whatever you name him, that's him, but I call him the boss, Brian Skowronski. Ski, hopefully you had a good holiday over in Colorado with family. I know I had a great time down those country roads in West Virginia.
Yeah, no doubt, man. A lot of snow out there. I heard about all the cold and miserable temperatures that they had here in Ohio, so we returned, and now it's 60. So you're welcome, people out there of North Central Ohio. We definitely brought the sunshine back with us.
And you else brings the sunshine? The top 10 small school girls basketball programs. So let's get right into it. But first, before we get into the top 10, there's one team just on the outside looking in, and they are from the Northern 10 Conference. It's Cary baby at 7-3. And, they have a chance to get into the top 10. They play teams like Colonel Crawford, like Mohawk, like Buckeye Central, the defending Final Four squad from last year. So they have a chance to get in. But right now, just on the outside, so kind of like number 11, it's the Cary Lady Devils. But let's get into the top 10. I know you're all excited, so let's get right into it. And at number 10, a team you see a lot on the OH report because we have a season-long contract with them. That is the Upper Sandusky Lady Rams at number 10. They're a very good squad. Tough losses, they had it close to Buckeye Central before the Christmas break. Buckeye Central pulled away because of Kate Cecil just completely going off. A one-possession loss also to Mohawk, and then another close loss to Bellevue. So some pretty decent losses that they have, but they have gone through their schedule pretty good. 9-3 in a tough Division III Shelby District. That's going to be a fun one to look at. But right now, Upper Sandusky at number 10, Brian.
A little surprised, honestly, that they're that low, seeing them come in at just the number 10 spot. You mentioned the losses that they've had. They've all been really, really tight ones. Haven't been blown out by anybody yet. And then Cadence Isles, I think one of the best players in the Northern 10.
Yeah.
Stowers. I mean, they got a nice collection and a mix of girls that have been starting or at least getting varsity playing time for the last couple of seasons. So I think Lady Rams, I thought they were going to be in the top 5 on your list. So I look forward to seeing who's still to come.
Well, you want to know why? Because we have so many really good girls squads in North Central Ohio that have had quality wins in their non-conference before getting into the heart of their schedule. Okay. So this is going to change a lot. This Upper Sandusky may be at number 10 right now. They could be up at as high as number 1 by the end of the season. It's just there's so many good schools, which is so awesome that we get to show off all these teams in North Central Ohio. But right now, if they're at number 10, who is in the top 10 ahead of them? Well, we'll see right now. At number 9, Mansfield Christian. The Lady Flames. That might be a head scratcher for you that they might not be flip-flop, but they're at 9. They're at 6-2 right now. Mm-hmm. They're the number 2 team in the Mid-Buckeye Conference behind Loudonville, and on paper, they're probably the second best team in that district in Division 4.
Yeah, I think you're right about that district. I think that they will be playing for a district championship when the season gets to that point. I really like what Abby Little is bringing to the equation. Noelle Bear, they've got a good mix of players right now. Not having Anna Sparks returning, that was such a big void for them, but they've been filling it so far. So shout out to Coach Megan and John Mark for making a click out there. Number 9, top 10 in our small school rankings.
There you go. And only 2 losses throughout so far. So at number 9 is Mansfield Christian. At number 8, Mohawk. The Lady Warriors, some of those volleyball players that had a big run, they're on the basketball court as well. 7-3. Again, the Northern 10, like the boys' side, girls' side, a lot of good teams at the top of that, and they're going to, you may see a 2, 3, 4 loss Northern 10 team win the conference just because there's so many good teams there.
And they have probably the best player in the league in Emily Klopp. She's a double-double machine. She's got so much great size, athleticism, and potential. They're going to be a tough out just with her on the floor. When they get good guard play, I think that they're probably a top 3 team on our Country Roads rankings here.
And they still have a lot of time to do that. Still, I believe 11 or 12 games to do so.
Sure.
I mean, it's only episode 1, so I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for why is my team down there? Well, they have a chance to move up. At number 7, Cardington. Cardington Lincoln, a squad that has not lost a KMAC championship since making it in, but they've lost a lot of talent from last season. Still sitting at 7-3, and I'll explain as you see the next couple. My first rankings, it's because teams that play each other in this rankings that have maybe one more loss or one less loss are going to be ahead of them. So I'm going head-to-head right now. But Cardington, they kind of bottom it out there. They could be as high as maybe 3 or 4, but just because of the teams that they played that are ahead of them that have beaten them is why they are at number 7. Do you understand why I'm doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not your big sister's Cardington squad. We understand that they're
they have
not
the ability
like the
to by the end of the year, but still,
we've seen the last 5, 6, 7 seasons, but still really good. Are undefeated in KMAC play still?
Don't quote me because there's a very good Mount Gilead squad that's going to be ahead of them in the rankings.
All right.
So we'll have to see. I don't know because we had, like you said, the bad weather. A couple games got canceled, so I don't know if everybody's been able to play each other yet the first time through. So hold the phone on that, but I'll let you know next week.
I'll hold my phone. I'll see if I can look it up and find out.
Okay,
Keep going.
I'm going to go, though, at number 6, Loudonville. The Lady Redbirds are at 9-2. They defeated Cardington. Okay. Therefore, that's why they are a game ahead, well, a spot ahead of them, despite, a decent schedule that they have. They had a couple tough losses, one to a Clear Fork squad. But Loudonville, Tyler Bates, they're always going to compete, and they're always going to have 15 to 20 wins on a season. So at number 6, Loudonville, the Lady Redbirds.
Yeah, they've got the best player in the area. I don't think there's any question about it. Corey almost averages 30 points a game. She's already, a 2,000-point scorer? Or a 2,000-point scorer
I think it is.
As a junior? Unbelievable. The top rebounder in the area as well. So just with her on the floor, you're gonna win most of your games. She's that much of a difference maker. Coach Bates, such an intense guy. He's got that program really moving in the right direction. They've been flying for a while now.
And not even that, their JV squad, Northmore, before our broadcast against Millersport, Loudonville actually played their JV, and they are just up-tempo. The coaching staff's up-tempo as well, and they play like it's a varsity schedule, so that's why they've been so good for so long. But they're at number 6. At number 5, Marion Pleasant. The Lady Spartans, 9-3. 3 losses are to, 2 of the 3 losses, Shelby, and I believe it was River Valley. That was the other one. But the third was to Clear Fork in a tough one. But they played close games, and Pleasant, that MOAC schedule, I mean, it may be up for grabs. I don't know. Shelby, it's Shelby's the lose right now, but Shelby's been playing some close games against Clear Fork and Pleasant and a couple others, so it's going to be fun to see the ending. They're tied atop the standings right now with River Valley, so
all their losses to bigger schools in that MOAC, like you mentioned. So Marion Pleasant, they've been playing some solid basketball so far all season long.
And another team that has been playing solid basketball so far, despite 4 losses, I have Clear Fork at number 4. Now, they beat Loudonville. That's why they're ahead of them. They beat Pleasant. That's why they are ahead of them. Their 4 losses: Mansfield Senior, Division II, Ashland District; Shelby, Division II, Ashland District; River Valley atop the MOAC, Division II; and then Bellevue, who in that Ashland District, once again, Division II. So Division II opponents, and they were all close games as well. You saw in the highlight that Hayden did, they nearly pulled off that win at Shelby, and it's really tough to win a game, let alone a conference game, at Shelby, and they almost did it.
I love what Scott Sellers has done over there. They've got 5 perimeter players that I love. They shoot the 3, not at a high percentage, but they take a lot of them. So by the end of the game, there's an accumulation there. 3, of course, counts more than 2. So I like Clear Fork. I think maybe a shade high on your list just because of the 4 losses, but a really quality team that I do feel like is going to have a nice tournament run when they get to do that Division III journey.
Well, kind of like the Martin RPI, which I think is the cool thing that they're using that for determining who gets seeded.
Agreed.
Strength of schedule. And I think Clear Fork, they've passed that test so far. They beat a Fredericktown squad that's had some injuries, but it's a tough, good squad in the KMAC. They play Cardington later on in the season as well. Coach Sellers put them through the ringer in their non-conference schedule. Mansfield Senior, Bellevue, Loudonville, Cardington. So they're going to be battle-tested for a Division III district. I think it's going to be them and Margaretta, and I think that's going to be an amazing game. However, you have Colonel Crawford, and you have Upper Sandusky, and a couple other teams in that district. It's going to be a fun one to do, and I really hope we have those live and free for you from Shelby in that district tournament coming up. But that's a long ways away. We still have a lot of basketball to be played, and still 3 more teams, and all 3 teams double-digit wins already into the new year. At number 3, Mount Gilead. How about the Lady Indians? 10-1, fighting for a KMAC championship, and I can't wait to see them. I know we have them on our schedule, live stream schedule, the second half of the season. Plays perfectly, so yeah, good for Mount Gilead.
Yeah, and I can confirm they're 5-0 in the KMAC, as is Cardington. So both of those squads, when they meet, will be competing for first place outright in the league.
And this weekend is round 1 of that rivalry. It's about a...
Do we have that one?
I know we have the boys one. I think we do have both. I want to say we have both. We have to have both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have both. Yeah. Look at the schedule. We have it out on our Facebook page right now of what the games we have, but I'm pretty sure we have something like that. I know we have Freddieburg and Devil Dog as well coming up this weekend,
Nice.
but just, look at the listings and we'll have it for you. But 10-1 Mount Gilead against their rival, and that's only, I think, a 3-mile difference between the 2 schools as well. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's a great thing to have. At number 2, Colonel Crawford, 10-1. Their lone loss is to a team that is above them, but I'm not getting to that yet. Colonel Crawford, their defense, phenomenal, averaging about only 20 points per game. That's unheard of, Brian, especially in the Northern 10.
Yeah, their style of play, they have to win a little bit ugly. They don't have anybody on the team, I don't think, that averages more than 8 points a game scoring, because they don't have to. All they have to do is break the 20 mark, and they're going to be victorious. So Colonel Crawford, they're a really interesting team to me if they get into a firefight with another squad that can really play offensively.
Well, it's like their lone loss. They had to get into a shootout with Buckeye Central, and Buckeye
Exactly.
Central was able to really pull away from that one.
So, Colonel Crawford, great team. Do I love them at number 2? I don't know, because of some of the offensive deficiencies. However, defensively makes up for a lot of those, so definitely worthy of a top 5.
But, they've beaten Mohawk, who's number 8. They beat Sandusky, Winford, who's on the outside looking in, a couple other teams as well. So that's why. But the number 1 team, the reigning, defending Country Roads champion, the Buckettes of Buckeye Central, 11-1. Coach Capel, he's just spewing stuff before the season. I don't know how we're going to be this year. They were going to be good, especially when you have a sharpshooter like Kate Cecil.
Yeah.
Just went off, I believe, 27 points. She had like 7 threes against Upper Sandusky in a great game. But also, Paige Colleen, one of the best defenders I've seen against Valoria Stour. She just shut her down and impressed one Joe Baylog on the call as well. So, when you get a Hall of Famer complimenting some defensive players, they pretty much have the complete game. Riley Conser, also Kennedy Deppen. They have the shooters. They lost 2 of the best players in Buckeye Central history, but they return a lot that in a district where it's only them and Mansfield Christian, we may see them going back to a regional.
Yeah, if you got a Cecil, you got a chance. They got one. They got a really good one.
They what?
Yeah,
They got it?
They got it, baby.
All right, that's my top 10, Brian. Have at it, my friend. What do you like?
Yeah,
What don't you like out of it? Here we go.
Yep. Yeah, Buckeye Central, no qualms there. They belong at the top. I think Colonel Crawford, the 10-1 record speaks for itself. They're probably a top 3 team. Clear Fork, a little overrated to me. I understand the strength of schedule. However, the likes of Loudonville, I know that they beat them head-to-head. I'd like to see that matchup perhaps one more time. Cardington and Mohawk, kind of where they need to be. Upper Sandusky's a little low. Mansfield Christian, because of who they play, I don't know that they belong in your top 10. So maybe just a little bit of reorganization, but most of the teams that you got in there, I think you're pretty spot on.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. How many stars out of 5?
I'll give you a good 3.75 on your girls list.
I like that. Okay. That's a good starting point for me. We'll see if I can build on that throughout the rest of the year, but that's only week 1 of many. We have a long way. Yeah, it's the new year, but we still have a month and a half until seeding at least, and then my favorite time of the year is the tournament. It's great, but we have a lot of great games coming up for you on the OH Report, girls and boys. This is the only time you're going to see Mr. Skowronski, the boss, on the Country Roads rankings. I want to thank him for stopping by, but this is going to be its own segment each week, but also I'm going to have a special guest. I'm actually going to be a special guest on the Joe Show every Wednesday night. Joe and myself, I'll have him break down my top 10 or top 5 at least from these rankings on each side, and we'll see what he has to say. So you'll see these every week as well as Joe's breakdown. But once again, want to thank Knox Community Hospital and the community for sponsoring. As always, you guys are great, and you, the fans, are great as well. Get in the comments section. Let me know what you think, who should be there, who should not. But for now, I am Big League Berardi. That is the boss, Brian Skowronski, and we are out of here.
Happy 2023.